Hey everyone, welcome to Sales 101, the B2B Sales Classroom. I'm your host, Mr. Donald C. Kelly, with my good friend, BJ.
Alan, hello everyone.
So here's the thing. This is if you're absolutely first time listening to this podcast, and I want you to tell you about the show. This podcast is designed in the most simplest way possible. BJ and I love sales. BJ and I love sales for college students and college professors. So we're creating this as a resource where you can come and get information, learn from some of the best in the industry and insights on what's the latest and greatest in the B2B sales world. But today, we want to tell you why we are doing this podcast in the first place. And BJ and I will introduce ourselves to you and tell you about our little story and how we got connected and all that fun stuff. So this is just to get the chance to know us. So BJ, let's tell these good folks about how we met. Do you want to tell your version or my version?
So me and Donald, we both have taught or we teach sales at the university level. Me and Donald are co-authors on a sales textbook, and we designed the simulation that goes along with it. But me and Donald's, our relationship goes way, way before that. So we actually served a church mission together. And in our church, you essentially put two young men together. You've probably seen them walking around your neighborhood in white shirts and ties, and maybe on bicycles. And Donald was.
Did we ever do bike? We did bikes. We did bikes for a little bit.
Occasionally.
That's right.
Donald was a brand new missionary. We served in Detroit, Michigan, and I met him on the first day. He was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, brand new missionary. So I was what we call his trainer. So I trained him. And since then, he's been one of my best friends. So it's pretty cool to be able to do this together. Here we are, like 20 plus years later.
So two parts of that. His story is pretty accurate too. So I had family over the other day, and we were going through some of my stuff on the table there, and my mission book was there. I saw some pictures, and there's a picture of you and I, and we were like, "What? Who are these people 20 years ago?" Like the scrawny little kid. And then the other parts of that too. So here's a cool thing. Usually on missionary services, like when you're serving as a missionary, you probably have a bunch of different companions that you serve with, but rarely you serve with the same person two times throughout that. So BJ and I served for 3 months first time, and then later on for another 3 months. So the quarter of my missionary service was with one individual, so I know all of his quirks and everything.
Yes.
Yes.
I've never actually ever talked to anyone else who's been on a mission who served with the same companion twice. And so it is super rare to be able to do that. And it was awesome when we served together the second time because I had trained Donald, so we worked exactly the same. So we got lots done. We were very efficient.
That's right. So he does all the work, and I just be the face.
Yes, that was great. Yeah, because Donald's so incredibly good looking, and so if you're listening to this, you should go check it out on YouTube so you can see his beautiful face. So I did all the work. Donald was the face of the franchise, and we had a lot of success together.
So this is to set the tone for you. This is like the idea that we want to give at this podcast. We work well together, and we want to have some fun, and we want you to have fun with us. And so fast forward now, going back to this courseware we created with Stu Kent, one of our friends, my friend from college. He mentioned that he was a founder of Stu Kent, and he was doing a courseware, and he's like, we need a sales courseware. Can you do it? And he's like, you need a college professor to make this work. So you come from the industry side, get a college professor. And I was like, I know just the guy. So BJ and I came together to put that together. And I don't know how many students you've had go through your program, BJ.
Hundreds. I don't know. I haven't kept track. Probably at 1,000 or 2.
Yeah, it had to be over 1,000. And then from my standpoint, probably a little bit around the same. I did maybe in the hundreds because BJ's been doing this for a minute. But I did adjunct professor at Brigham Young University, Idaho. But I run an organization called the Sales Evangelist, and we do sales training to reps and to teams across the globe, literally. And you probably could see my fan spinning around there, but look below that. I've partnered with Salesforce and with part of the HubSpot podcast network with my other show and brand. So we come with the industry side, and the knowledge of the classroom side, and BJ does consulting work with companies as well from in speaking. And it's so we're coming the things we're sharing with you are stuff that we're seeing not only from the classroom but also what these sales leaders are telling us they want. And as we're doing this podcast, that's kind of like the idea we want to do with it. But BJ, let's talk a little bit more about
Sure.
this. When I shared this crazy idea of launching a podcast and doing it, what were your feelings as far as the outcome that you're hoping that we can do as someone who's teaching this to students on an active basis?
Yeah, I think the first thing that came to my mind was that it's exciting because sales at the university level is just growing exponentially, right? I mean, we launched our textbook maybe 3 years ago,
Wow,
and
yeah.
it's already the textbook and the simulation are already used in over 100 universities. Like it's just grown, and so the ability to share some of the content that we've learned, but also have people on, who are experts who have designed their own curriculum. Like we want to be able to share what other people are doing, because anyone who started teaching sales, the first question you've asked yourself is where do I start on curriculum, right? Like what do I even do? How do I take all the knowledge I gained in industry working in sales and put that together in a curriculum, and trying to find the balance between, well, it's a university class. So, do I use a textbook or do I use, Challenger Sell or Spin Selling, one of those kind of industry books. And so, there's no one right answer, and how you facilitate the development of your classroom is really gathering ideas from other people and then adapting those based on your experience and your personality, the things that you like. So really, me and Donald really kind of just we dream about this podcast being just a repository of knowledge from people who have done it before, and then you as the listener can take it and adopt it for yourself.
Yeah, and I feel that part is what the coolest thing about it is. Don't have to use our way, but just take it and utilize it a way that works best for you. And I love that part. There was one of my speaking coach. She always used to say that, Donald, you're going to get advice from me and from other folks. Pretend you're in a grocery store and you're taking something off the shelf and you're looking at it. You read the ingredients. If you like it, put it in a cart. If you don't, put it back on the shelf. And we just don't want any hate mail from you on LinkedIn. Say that's so dumb, but you're welcome those as well. But just know that we are here. Our purpose is to be really to provide as a resource. I run a podcast production company as well, and it's one of the tools that we found to be very effective. So we're just using that as a marketing avenue. And some of the things that we're looking at right now, guests, we've done some prep calls. Oh my goodness, BJ, I don't know, probably like well over 10, 12 prep calls, yes, that we're bringing on the show. Topics range from the most popular is
the use of AI in sales.
Everyone wants to talk about that. So that's one that you're gonna see some episodes on that. So don't get mad if you hear different versions of how people are using AI. Taking a real world experience. We have a lot of folks who've done it in real life and they're teaching it in the classroom. And there's some awesome stories on that. We have students that BJ's taught, that I've taught, that are coming on the show to share how they're applying sales and things that they wish they had learned. We have industry experts. I know some of you are familiar with Mark Hunter. He's one of my buddies. I'm going to hit up some of these other folks that are out there. Christy Jones is one of them. She's going to be coming on the show. There's a lot of individuals from industry that we're going to bring inside of it, because we just really want the next evolution of the sales in universities we want that to be able to just to be a spitting mirror of what's going on in the world, and taking the insight from some of these sales managers that we're interacting with and bringing them on a show and telling us what they want their students or their new hires to know as well. So we're doing a variety of stuff with the show, and just super excited.
Yeah, I love that you brought that up, Donald, because that's really what I think is like one of the key values of this podcast is the integration of the education with industry. And a lot of times professors, they work in industry and then they become a professor, and then they teach 5, 10, 15 years and they haven't worked in industry for a while. Or maybe someone isn't in industry and they're working as an adjunct and trying to find how to integrate those two. And so we're excited to share insights from both professors who work there now to share ideas about how they've integrated the real life into the classroom. But also, I think a huge value is going to be, we're going to bring on, CSOs, CROs, who are going to talk about, hey, here's the things that you need to be teaching the entry-level sellers. Here's the gaps that we're seeing. Here's the things that are going to prepare your students for the next level. So I'm super excited for the integration of those, because I think that's going to make all of us better professors.
I love it. All right. So besides AI, besides real world experience there, we're going to go over some of the different things. BJ and I, you heard him talk about some of those to mentioned there, like challenger sale. We'll do episodes on that. And if we play our cards right, I'm going to see if we can bring on the author of the challenger and some of these other folks that we can bring in to have them share breakdown of different methodologies. Some of you are asking about BANT versus MEDDIC. We're going to show you how we can do that. I did an episode for that for my other podcast, so we'll share with you some of those experiences. But you're going to get it all. So if there's something that you're missing that you don't get from the show, we want you to tell us and to connect with us. So this is what you're going to get. It's going to be exciting, and you better like it. But buckle up. Audio and video, you can check it all out on YouTube, as well as you can check out the video. Obviously the audio's here, but the biggest thing, we want this community to grow, and we're pleading with you to take this episode, share it with one other person, and hopefully some of the things you can take and use it in your class. And if you ever want to get BJ or myself to be an adjunct professor, to be a guest speaker at your university or speaker in anything you're doing, feel free to connect with us as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
Pumped. All right, BJ. We're going to wrap this up, and we're going to get ready for to go do some recordings for some other stuff. But any last words you want to tell them? Why they should?
Yeah, just what Donald said. Like, we're excited to grow this community. We hope people share ideas with each other. We hope you share ideas with us, and we hope that you find some of the things that we share on here useful. And more than anything, like, we're both just passionate about helping the rising generation of sellers and continuing to help them to progress in their career. And we think that starts with the education they get from the professors.
Couldn't say it any better. All right. Until next time, on our next episode, you're going to get a chance to hear some deeper content. We'll go a little bit further and give some more training, and you'll get to hear some awesome guests. So until next time.
Good luck selling.
See ya. I like that. Good luck selling. Good luck selling. Go make some money. Yeah.